Tuesday, everybody. Jim and Amadeus here. And Amadeus, my friend, there seems to be all kinds of fun stuff popping up here. We've got Ryder Cup this week. We've got, more NFL football battles in college from coaches yelling at each other. And Taylor Swift. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, there's a ton of action. The only problem is now Tuesdays and Wednesdays have become like the slow day of the week, where it's just you're looking forward to Thursday and beyond now.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do still have one thing. Actually, two. The first thing we have is we have a major baseball pennant race going on here. More to the point uh, of the teams who want to get in the wild card than the actual winners of the division. Those are pretty much all set. But it's the wild card race, which, by the way, if you are following it, check out MLB, the MLB Network, and they have they're going to be switching between games all night long and probably all through Sunday because of all the craziness that's going on. But yeah, it's a wild situation when you take a look at the wild card standings in the American League. The American League, Tampa Bay has a 10 game lead. I think that's pretty safe over Toronto. Toronto's a game and a half in. Houston is also in. So there's your three: Tampa Bay, Toronto, Houston. Those are your three. Just a half game out is Seattle. Now the Yankees are 5.5 out. Boston 9.5 out. So for all intents and purposes, they are eliminated. Seattle is not. So it's really a battle between, as we said yesterday, Seattle and the Houston Astros. And Houston has, to their credit, they've held up pretty well. Now in the National League, Philly, Arizona are in. Chicago, Miami, Cincinnati, and maybe we'll throw them in there just for the heck of it. San Diego's 4.5 out. They would have to, basically the Cubs, the Marlins, and Cincinnati would have to lose every game left, and San Diego would have to win every game they have to make it to the wild card. So it's really Cincinnati with a game and a half, Miami a half game. The Cubs are even in there, and then one game up is Arizona. So there's 5 teams fighting for 2 places in the National League. So it's crazy, and it's to be honest, it's what Major League Baseball wanted when they went to this system, where more teams are still there on the weekend, and it makes it compelling television. So there you go, boys and girls. You got what you wanted. You got meaningful baseball in September. And that's all you can ask for in that regard. So does it make it in September because there's so many teams in and out of it? Does it make it more difficult to handicap baseball at that time?
Yeah, I would say the last week or two is probably harder,
Mm-hmm.
just because you don't know what teams are really trying. There's
Mm-hmm.
obviously motivation there. Some have already been eliminated and are
Mm-hmm.
just playing spoiler. Some teams love to play spoiler. Others are just rolling out the young guys to
Mm-hmm.
get some work in. So yeah, it makes it. And then obviously the really good teams, they'll start to
Mm-hmm.
pull players as they rest up for
Right.
the playoffs. So yeah, definitely a little tougher around this time.
I would think because you've got those teams that have players on it where you know every player's evaluated regardless of whether they have a long-term contract or whatever. But they're players on teams, older guys most of the time, or fringe players like utility guys, who will ball out in September just to make certain that that the team recognizes who they are and doesn't do something drastic to them whenever the season's over, like trade them or cut them. So there at least is that. There's also some things which you don't really look at until until after the season, and that is where some of these guys have incentive laden contracts. So it's like if so and so hits 300 and drives in so many runs, then they get a boost in the contract. Um, a pitcher might get a boost for innings or strikeouts or whatever. So there's these little incentives that are in the contracts of these players who are on teams that aren't going anywhere but playing golf on Monday. And but you have to watch out because those are the guys who are trying to ball out because they want to get that contract, the money in that contract. So you're right. It's a crapshoot. You really don't know what's going to happen till the day of the game, and sometimes even that doesn't get you there.
Yeah, and especially when you got some of these teams even wanting to sit these players with the incentives. So
That's a very good point. There have been managers who will have the general manager come down to him and say, so and so scheduled to pitch tonight. Yeah, yeah, give him a rest. It's like give him a rest. He's not going to pitch again the rest of the year. It's like yeah, well, give him a rest. Not that many umpires listen to them because they don't, but not umpires. Managers listen to them, but they don't. It's just the way things happen. So there you go, boys and girls. And you know, it is what it is. So uh, in the it's fun to talk about, but I mean it's totally meaningless, but it's fun to talk about. Category. Lou Holtz, who on Saturday or Friday, I'm sorry, said on radio in a national radio show how you know how Notre Dame was going to beat Ohio State because Notre Dame, I'm sorry, Ohio State was not ranked. It was ranked higher than they should have been, and stuff that you and I agree with. But he said the quiet part out loud, and so Ryan Day, coach of Ohio State, was made it a point on the NBC telecast after the game when he was asked, how's it, give us your evaluation of your team, and he just went off on Lou Holtz. So Holtz, never being the kind of guy who wants to back down, didn't, and said that he still thought they were overrated, even though they had good coaching, even though they had good players. So it was like a backhanded compliment. It's like, yeah, they're great. They got good players. They got great skill position guys. They got all that. But oh, by the way, they're still not that good. Which begs the question: if they're not that good, they beat your team. Okay, so if they're not high, if they're not worthy of the ranking they got, what the hell's wrong with you guys? I mean, are you worthy of the ranking because you lost that game? So I don't know. I mean, look, Holtz is not. I can honestly tell you that that he is not an easy guy to get along with, and so he's going to be like a dog with a bone. He is not going to give up on the Ryan Day thing, and that's not going to help you know Coach Freeman and Notre Dame to be to be the heavies now whenever they hit town. So well, sometimes it's best to keep your damn mouth shut. And in this case, for Lou Holtz, it would have been better if he just kept his damn mouth shut.
yeah, there was a lot of that calling out by coaches after these games this weekend. But
Yeah,
honestly, Ryan Day is a bit of a clown. Everything that Lou Holtz said about his team is correct. They're not tough, and you needed a Notre Dame defense with 10 guys on the field just to beat them. So I
right,
don't know what. And the fact that you're screaming about how tough your team is just makes me think they're even softer than how they
right.
looked.
Well, I didn't say I didn't agree with Holtz. It's more of the why did you say that kind of situation because, you know, it's one of those things where you say it and you're like, okay, cool, the game's over. Now it's like let's just move on. Life goes on. I
Yeah,
mean, look at
but
Kenny Lanningham in Oregon. He's gone out of his way now after beating and living daylights out of Colorado to express his basically bromance with Coach Prime that they're talented guys. We caught him on a good day. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so he went the coach speak route, while you know Lou Holtz didn't. So it's one of those situations. It happens, right? It's
Well,
gonna happen.
look, Jim. Big clown move by Ryan Day. He's the last person to be calling people out. Okay, not only everything Lou Holtz said about his team is true,
Right.
but you're honestly going to start calling out people when you had to tuck your tail between your legs and go ask Urban Meyer how I'm supposed to beat Michigan this year. Yeah, beat Michigan and then you can start talking crap about people.
Well,
Absolute
speaking,
joke.
I mean, they still got to get by Penn State before they get by Michigan. And I honestly
Yeah,
think Penn State's a much better team than Ohio State. Don't
and
care,
I agree
Ryan.
with you.
You wanna yell at us? You can yell at us. Put us on your list. Yeah, Penn State before they get to Ohio State, it's gonna be tough, and
Yeah,
it'll be interesting. It will be interesting, that's for sure. Notre Dame really doesn't have a tough game to play until SC left on their
yeah.
schedule. So,
Honestly, I thought coming into the season, I
mm-hmm,
thought Ohio State was only going to be a one-loss team. That
mm-hmm,
loss, obviously, coming to Michigan at the end of the year,
right.
and yeah, from what I've seen from them the first few weeks, obviously my opinion has changed. I thought Notre Dame was going to beat them. In fact, Notre
I
Dame
did
was the
I.
better
So did
team.
I. Yeah.
Notre Dame was the better team and should have beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if they have 11 guys on the field,
Might help.
we'll see, right? Plus, don't even get me
Right.
started on those 3rd and 19s with the with the zone coverage there. But yeah, Ohio State. Now I'm with you. I have
Mm-hmm.
I've relooked at that, and I think Penn State beats them now. I think they're a 2-loss team.
Mm-hmm.
And again, part of the reason why I think they're a 2-loss team is not because of how good they are. It's because of how bad the Big Ten is. And
Right.
their only competition is going to be Penn State and Michigan.
Right.
And both those teams are going to beat them.
Well, and Penn State's got a quarterback. Ohio State has maybe a quarterback, and Michigan has a quarterback, and they know what to do with the ball. Um, for all intents and purposes, and not to rehash things to get people pissed off, but um, I mean, in watching the game the other day, neither team. I mean, I thought, and you and I spoke about this, that Notre Dame would come out and ball out because they had the better offense, they had the better quarterback. The fact that they kept shooting themselves in the foot by getting penalty after penalty after penalty, and then doing stupid things when they got there, didn't help at all. So that was a bit of a, if you said it was going to be a rock fight, it turned out to be a rock fight, and we'll see at this point. But right now, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Quick
we'll
question
see
on
how
hockey. Go ahead.
they respond this week when they have to go and play Duke on the road, who might be the best team in the ACC this year.
Yep, the Blue Devils. Who would have thought to say that, right? Duke is the best team in the ACC, and it wasn't basketball or lacrosse. That would be the two that you would have to go with. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, Duke has proven that they are a quality football team, and so you may wonder how that happened. Doesn't really much matter. It happened. So there you go, boys and
Well,
girls.
Jim, it's just that kind of year. Duke's the
Yeah.
best team in the ACC. You got multiple people calling the Pac-12 the best conference in football. I don't know what to tell you. It's
Yeah,
just it's just that kind of year.
it's the old joke about dogs and cats living together. Everything is crazy. Um, well, I think we're seeing. We talked about this yesterday. I think we're seeing the parity coming from the fact of the portal. The portal can get you some players. If you're missing a wide receiver and you're a quality team, you can go out there and find one that's on another team and bring them over. So there's really that kind of free agency, if you will, where players can go from one team to the other because they think that, all right, maybe they'll make a difference, or maybe they'd rather play for that coach, or whatever the deal is. But or a combination of the two. But we are seeing the changing of the guard in so much as you can recruit 4 and 5 star athletes all you want to, but if they don't mesh, then you got problems. And I think that's what we're seeing here. Is some of the blue bloods are not as good as they normally would be because they don't have the depth they normally would have.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely a lot more parity going on in college football for sure.
Nothing wrong with that. That's all good. We got 4 games tonight on the MLS schedule, and that would be Philly and Dallas. That game in Dallas, and that's a free one on Apple TV at 7:30. Miami Houston. That's an important game for Miami, and that one's being played in Miami. That's going to be on For those of you who have it, it's going to be on CBS Sports Network and Telemundo. If you don't have CBS Sports Network, let me give you a little hack here. Go to the App Store if you're a an Apple user, or go to the Google Play Store and download CBS Sports on your phone, and they will they will take you to the game. You can watch it on your phone. So if you happen to want to watch that game tonight and you don't have CBS Sports Network on your cable or whatever, then by all means head out there and do that. Colorado 9:30 kick. That one is also free on Apple TV tonight. And then another Apple TV game, and this one is 11 o'clock, and that is LAFC taking on Tigres. I assume that would be played. Oh, it's played in BMO Stadium in Los Angeles. I was going to say I thought they would be playing it in Mexico, but no, they're not. They're playing it in LA. So I guarantee you that place will be sold out if it's not already sold out. So there you go. Those are our games for tonight. And let's take a quick look at MLB and what's going on with the afternoon games. Diamondbacks and White Sox just finished the first inning at no score. Marlins Mets, that's a 4 p.m. pitch. That's a big game for the Marlins. And, as we said before, they have a chance. Now, it's a doubleheader. So the first game before 10, the second game will be 40 minutes after that. The 6:10 game, the Reds, we just said that they are in a bit of a dogfight, and they're playing the Guardians in Cleveland. So again, that's one of those interleague games playing with your rivals. Rays Red Sox, that's a 6:10 first pitch. Tyler Glasnow pitching for Tampa Bay. Bellio pitching for the Red Sox. Nationals and Orioles. Corbin for Washington. Rodriguez, who is the best pitcher on Baltimore's team, pitching tonight. Bolin, pitching for Kansas City this evening. The Tigers roll out Mr. Sabugol, and the Pirates Phillies. Olivado pitching for the Buccos, and for Philadelphia it's Suarez. Yankees Jays, that one's Garrett Cole pitching for Garrett Cole, huh? Going for his 15th win of the season. Berrios pitching for Toronto. He's 11-11. Cubs Braves. That game is going to be Italian pitching for the Cubbies. The Braves will counter with Vines. Athletics and Twins. Estes pitching for Oakland. Lopez pitching for Minnesota. Cubbies. Cardinals and Brewers. That game is Thompson pitching for St. Louis. Miley, Mr. Wade, pitching for Milwaukee. Dodgers Rockies. That game is Sheehan pitching for the Dodgers. Davis pitching for the Rockies. Rangers Angels. Big game for the Rangers, and that's going to be Dunning pitching for Texas. Canning pitching for the Angels. Astros Mariners. Another big game. Valdez pitching for Houston. Miller pitching for your Seattle Mariners. 9:45. It's the Padres and the Giants. That game is Waldron pitching for San Diego, and I don't have a pitcher for San Francisco, but I bet they have one by game time.
I got Sean Manaea.
Oh, Manaea's pitching? Okay, there you go. Okay, so there's we got one game underway, no score. White Sox D-backs. It means something to the D-backs for sure. So we'll see.
The
And
White
it's on
Sox,
MLB
their
Network.
season's been over since 20 games into the season.
Well, there's that. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, that's where we are in that situation. Let's go. Got a couple of things to chat about. Let's see. Yep. Here's something of interest. Despite the lopsided score, ABC's telecast Colorado's 42-6 loss to Oregon on Saturday averaged a 10.3 million situations viewers, according to Sports Media Watch. It's the second best rated game of the season. The best rated game of the season was a 10.3. I'm sorry, 10.4. So it was very close. And now, of course, was Ohio State and Notre Dame. So Colorado still's got stick-to-itiveness.
So there you go.
From
Ohio State, Notre Dame actually beat the Colorado Magic.
Not much, not by much, but they got
not by much, but they beat them.
They beat them. That might be the only place that they beat Colorado or Oregon this year. I don't think either one.
Chainsaw Massacre, Jim.
Yeah.
Eugene Chainsaw Massacre.
I'll tell you what. We talked about this yesterday. I don't see Oregon is probably one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the country. And,
I agree with you. I got them at number 2 behind Washington.
Well, there you go. You got two. So Notre Dame and Ohio State don't have to worry about playing either of these teams anytime soon. So that's not a bad situation. Another thing of interest is that CBS, for this month, for September, had their best viewership in 13 years. And I'm not totally sure why, but I guess...
Getting all the good games, I guess.
Must be. Has to be. The Chiefs-Bears was the most watched NFL game on any network this week, averaging 24.3
right?
million people. I'm wondering, we talk about the Deion Sanders factor, right? I'm wondering if we're starting to get a Taylor Swift, reaction, because you think about it. I mean, if the Swifties are turning into, to watch and now making the Chiefs their favorite team, no shade on the Chiefs, but Chiefs Bears, really, that was the best game you could find on the weekend.
That one really shocks me, just because the Bears might be the worst team in the NFL this year. Mm-hmm. And this week we have good old Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, and the Broncos rolling into Soldier Field. And if you want to go watch the Bears play, 2 legends there, Wilson and Payton, you can get tickets for as low as $3.
I was going to ask. I wonder what the tickets are going on StubHub, and you already nailed it for me.
That stat is via Rye Cape. Thank you for that one. $3 tickets in Chicago this weekend. If you're in the Chicago area looking to catch a Bears game, and bring the family, bring your family's family, right. Bring everybody. $3
for $30, you can bring everyone. Yeah, wow, that's pretty wild. I will say this, as a public service, if you do go to the game at Soldier Field in Chicago, dress warm, because I don't care if it's summer, winter, whatever it is. That stadium is like about 3 blocks from the Lake Michigan, and it's cold no matter what time of the year it is. I've been there different times of the year. It is cold every damn time I've been there. So as a public service, dress accordingly. Dress warm. I know you're probably thinking, well, it's only it's just a late fall. It's not that part. Trust me, it's going to be cold down there. Wind comes off that lake like a son of a gun. So by all means, wear a sweater. Okay, stay well.
We're talking layers here. You got 6 Bears jerseys. Wear them all.
Yep. Take it all. Take it all. We talked about. I think we talked about this yesterday. Amazon and the 49ers and the Giants game averaged 13.92, which gave it the win. Here's the thing: it won the night for even over linear television. So the fact that people have found Amazon and are doing the Prime thing at 13.92 is a pretty impressive number. So there you go.
I guess people wanted to see how bad the Giants really are.
Well, and they found out. They go, oh, okay, fine. They're worse than we thought. So there you go, boys and girls. So yeah, there's that. Now, Let me ask you something. Is there a lot of buzz from the gaming world, or lack of buzz, for NHL preseason?
I've heard a few people mention I mean, besides the classic TSN, I know a few people who are excited for the hockey season up here, but not many, not many.
You mean for the preseason?
Well, no, just for
Oh, in
the
general?
season. Yeah, because apparently someone I know mentioned that it was 13 days away now.
Right.
Something I haven't even paid attention to because
Well, I mean, it's hard to get excited for either the NBA season or the NHL season when they play the championships in June. Uh, you got there's a long way to go before that happens, and so yeah, I mean it's interesting. I accidentally, and I say accidentally because I wasn't really looking for it. I stumbled upon a Caps game the other day, and I thought they were doing playing a one of those repeat broadcasts where they show what's going on, and so, no, this is actually a preseason game. So it's like, okay. By the way, the Golden Knights gave up their Bally's deal because Bally's is in bankruptcy. So they did something which I think is kind of clever, and I think it's gonna catch on with those who go away from the regionals. They have a deal where they're going to broadcast 69 of their 81 games because the rest of them are on national television, somewhere. And the price point for this direct-to-consumer streaming deal is $69. So basically, they're charging you $1 a game. I think that's clever. I think that's a very wise. They're keeping the price point at somewhere where if you're a fan, you know that's not a bad price point. You're basically just charging them for $1 a game, and I thought that
so
was pretty
are
clever on their
they the
part.
streaming service then? Like you go to the Vegas Golden Knights website
They do have, yeah,
and
they
you
have a link
sign
to their
in and then
streaming
you watch
service.
them
Yep.
there. Okay.
No, you can watch them on wherever. I mean, you can download their app, but I'm just saying the fact is that the price point being that a dollar a game, I think that's a very clever point on their part. Is that they're not charging $150 for their 69 streaming games. So I don't know. I
You do
just
see
think
a lot
that's
of that.
clever.
It's like $100 for the year when the
hmm
season's only like 6 to 8 months in some of these sports, and then the
Well,
other
look at
4 months the streaming service is useless after you buy
yeah.
it.
Well, there's nothing on it. So there you go. But no, I think looking at at other price points around, like you said. I mean, if you want Yankees baseball and you want to watch it on the Yes app, you know, which is helped by Amazon, it's going to charge. They're going to charge the Yankees are going to charge you close to $300-400. So I think they're smart in just getting the fans out there and saying, okay, we'll get this $69 from you, but we'll garner a stronger and a more happy fan base because you're not gouging them for what you get. So I think that's a pretty clever way of doing it. They've come through with that. So we'll see. We'll see how many fans they choose to get in the seats for those games. Um, we were talking earlier last week, or earlier this week actually, about Miami and Tua and the gang, and there seems to be a very strong um, settling. Hey, Sean Miller, jeez, look who's here. How you doing?
Oh, I got 3 minutes of free time here.
Oh, okay.
Waiting. I'm in the car waiting to pick up the kids at Germantown Academy out here outside of Philly. So,
Okay.
maybe I'll pop in.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you
What's up,
pop in.
Amedeus?
Yeah, good to see you, Sean.
So
Yes.
what have you been doing, my friend?
Oh, a little this, a little that, 79-hour work week, stuff like that. It's a little crazy right now with stuff. We're in the middle of youth football season, which means
Hmm.
weekends are spent, streaming Pop Warner games and SAT and all this stuff. I try to, try to watch a game or two every once in a while, but it's
It's hard.
not. Yeah, yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna try to watch a little bit. I'm gonna be driving, but for the first half, I'm excited to watch the City Newcastle game at 3 o'clock today.
Mm,
After Manchester United won yesterday, so
okay,
we'll see.
that's good.
Yeah,
That's
Sean,
I
Sean,
might
what's
have.
going on? What's going on with your team this year? What the hell's
Yeah, a lot of
happening?
injuries. A lot of injuries, a lot of stuff. I think Jaden Sancho's a bum, but I think we're actually close to getting. If like yesterday they actually look like a competent team. Mason Mount was back. Amrabat is in there. You're now like it's starting to lessen up. I think Anthony's back in England. Hopefully that gets cleared up soon. But they're starting to get some injury. Varane is back. Um, I think I think they'll be all right by the time January, February comes around. It seems like that maybe they'll sell this team in the next couple months, next month or something like this. So we'll see. But
Yeah, the talent's
I've
definitely
been
there, but disappointing start for them.
I watched I was gonna text you. I watched the AC Milan Newcastle game. I thought they really probably should have won that. Next week I think is a pretty big week for Champions League. So there's a bunch of matches coming up. I'm excited about.
well, that's
Yeah,
good. I mean, we've been
definitely
talking
Some
about.
good
point,
Champions
at
League.
some point, yeah, I was listening. I was listening in a little bit about the hockey, the streaming. I think all this stuff is, people in England complain about how much they have to pay for stuff, which I get because, um, you know, they pay this absorbent amount of money and then still don't get any games at 3 o'clock. So they have to get IPTV and stuff. But it gets to the point. I mean, with the MLS Pass or the NHL, look, if you're the Premier League, look, I have to have Peacock Premium. I have ESPN Plus. Like I can't. If I didn't have these, I wouldn't be able to watch games, and like I'd be miserable. So like, if you want to watch these games, you got to get it, and it's just like a sacrifice you got to make.
Well, I mean, it's most of them are relatively
Yeah,
reasonable prices. The other
like you said,
thing
a
is,
dollar a game basically.
yeah, if you're talking about Peacock and Paramount, right? Uh, the other side of the coin is they've got a tremendous amount of just non-sports content that's worthy of you know watching. So
Yeah, I mean,
you're getting more
look,
than
I'm not.
just soccer.
I'll be, to that point. I was a huge wrestling
Hmm.
WWE fan back in the day, and
Hmm.
since I have Peacock now and everything's on Peacock, I've
Hmm.
watched more pay-per-view. They're not pay-per-views anymore. They're just on
Right.
they're just on Peacock Premium. So I've watched more SummerSlam and WrestleMania both
Hmm.
nights and all this stuff because I remember that it's on. I'm like, oh yeah, I have Peacock. I can go watch it.
Well, there's
So,
also, if you
um,
go deep into Peacock, right? Go delve deep in there. They have um, a series of WWE, and not just WWE, but others. You can go back and they have documentaries that they did on some of the wrestlers, on some of the on some of the you know on some of the wrestling alliances, like the one in,
ECW.
yeah, they've got championship wrestling from Florida. They have a deep dive and an interesting piece or documentary they did on Dusty Rhodes, and a number of different of wrestlers, and so it's that's a compelling thing too. You have an opportunity to see the whole WWE collection of what in essence is like 30 for 30 on ESPN Plus. So yeah, it's all there. So if you are a wrestling fan, good on you. All you have to do is pop over and check that out because there's plenty of it there.
Yeah, and you see, like Paramount has, Serie A. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people get Paramount because of the Champions League, but
Right.
the Yellowstone, Serie A. They
Mm-hmm.
got the Brazilian league. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff on
Yeah.
there, and just it's every I always think, maybe I'll go back to. Nah, I'm never going back to cable at this point. There's no way.
Well, you're surrounded by Comcast, so it's almost impossible to get any other cable other than Comcast. So
Yeah, I mean,
kind of the way they
we
work
have
it.
Fios in our neighborhood too,
Oh,
which
okay.
is cool. But it's not. It's not. My phone bill's big enough. I don't need to add cable on top of internet. On top of that, maybe they'll give me a break. But
Be
it's
careful of
just
those
crazy at
breaks
this
they
point.
give you. They can come back to haunt you.
Yes.
That's just a
Yeah, I'm
word to the
fighting with them now.
wise.
They're like, hey, here's a free iPad. Really? It's free. Yeah. Oh yeah. Still paying for it. I'm like, you told me it was free. No, you got to pay for it. I'm like, you said it was free. Like you
Well,
just
look
said
at
I had to
it.
pay
There's a
for the
trial
line.
session. It's free for like 10 minutes, and then
Yeah,
somebody else, and they'll dock you
yeah,
for it.
it's crazy.
Yeah. So crazy things, crazy times. I know that Foxy's going to be sad that he missed you because he's been busting you on popping in just
He
to.
sent me a message today.
Oh, he
Yeah,
did.
he saw
Okay.
he liked my yeah, because I was on by the book in Washington last night,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the Wu-Tang was playing uh,
Okay.
at the arena. So I was outside covering
Mm-hmm.
Evan Gershkowitz, the Wall Street Journal reporter who's jailed in Russia. They did a big game for him in Princeton because he played at Princeton
Okay.
High.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at the game covering it, and then they're like, "Can you come on at 4:30?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to be outside." It was cloudy
Mm-hmm.
the whole afternoon. The entire time I was on TV outside, it rained. As soon as I was off TV, it stopped raining.
Oh man.
So I had my Wu Tang hat on, and it was cold and wet.
Right.
But so it was good though. It was a good shot for TV. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Well,
pretty
give us
cool.
their plugs while you're there. So the
Gave
people
out a
know.
couple winners. Yeah, buy the book bets. They're doing the new episodes starting now. I think they're on at 5:30,
Yeah.
5:30 to 6 now. It's a
Mm-hmm.
half-hour show on in NBC Sports in Washington,
Mm-hmm.
NBC Sports then. But they tape right out of the arena there. The where
Yeah.
the Wizards and
Well, Ted Leonsis owns them now. He owns NBC
yes,
Washington.
yeah, yep.
It was.
And then I'm out at my boss's house now, and he says, he's going out. How about this? He's going to Profit Rocket in Austin, Texas. He speaks on these panels because he's
Uh-huh.
multi-billion. He's like got a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, oh, I'm going out to this dinner tonight with like 8 people. And he's like telling me who's there. Some guy. He's like, some rappers there, and it's in Austin, so I'm thinking like, what?
You turned off your mic. If you can hear us. Let me. We just got to the good part of the story.
Yeah, it all cut out.
Yeah, hang on a second. I think that's subtle.
Just a bit.
Yeah, just. Well, okay. I have a feeling he'll be back. He is.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's probably just fixing something.
Up. Well, there it goes. Connected, not connected. It's what happens when you're waiting in line for kids. You
Yeah,
just,
that's That's what we do at this show, Jim. It's
That's
technical
right.
difficulties.
We show people. There we go. Maybe.
I figure you couldn't hear me. I
Yeah.
figure you couldn't hear me because you're just like I saw you like looking at me and like not saying. Anyway, he's going out to Jay-Z. He's going out to dinner with Jay-Z tonight, so that's pretty cool.
Okay, well that's some rapper.
I got a phone
Okay.
call. The phone was ringing, and I said, because I'm on my phone. But yeah, the whole story that I was saying was he's going out to dinner with Jay-Z tonight. So.
Not a bad partner for conversation at dinner.
Yeah, that's right. So.
Not a
But
bad deal.
Just wanted to say hello. The kids are coming out here, so
Okay.
try to get on. On the days I have to come sit here at 2:00 and sit here for an hour, and so I'm first in
Right.
line. I'll try to jump on.
Oh, by all means.
Okay.
It's the old joke
Yeah,
is
it's
your
good to see
network.
you, Sean.
Yeah, always a
Yeah,
pleasure.
you too, man. At some point we'll start doing this Thursday night show with talking about the weekend games. As soon as maybe as soon as my schedule gets settled, we can do it during halftime of the football game or something like that.
That'd be fun.
Have
Yeah,
everybody
sounds good.
Yeah. Just have a quick 20-minute show during halftime. Like, hey,
Mhm.
bounce over here during halftime or something like this. So.
Far more entertaining than the normal half times. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Commercials.
Than the
Right.
games some of the times.
That's true too. Yeah, it's definitely true.
Yeah, they haven't
So
been great. The Monday night games weren't great. So.
no, and they had two of them. So now we're back to
That's
one.
bad. Look, one game could be bad. You can't. I mean, the Eagles. Oh, I'll be on the field. I'll be on the field in the field seats. For the Eagles Washington game there. So maybe
Okay.
I'll take some photos.
Keep
Send 'em out there,
keep a
so.
lookout for you.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
That'll be cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, have a nice day,
Good
and
to
thanks
see
for
you
dropping
guys.
by. Yeah.
All right, definitely. All
There
right,
you
I'll
go.
see you.
Take care.
Have a good one.
We get photobombed by Sean. There you go.
Yeah, video.
Yeah, video bombed. It's one of those kind of things. So, all right. Let's get to the shameless plug part of this. What's going on with you from tonight, and all the fun stuff.
Yeah, you can get my plays at bigal.com, pickadvisor.com. Those links are in the description below. You can also find me on theinsidersroom.com. Still working on that link, but yeah, definitely go check it out. It's a brand new website. It's an affiliate of Picks and Parlays, so go check out theinsidersroom.com for sure. And yeah, tonight I don't have a ton up really. Just the one baseball play, my AL East total of the year. So you can go check that out. Final week of baseball. So it's going to be some tight races there. And if you're looking ahead to tomorrow, you can also get my NFC North game of the month for tomorrow night's Thursday football.
Well, that would definitely be worthy of that too. And I assume that you're getting geeked out because next week it's baseball playoff.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of rather interesting stuff going on there as well.
It's going to be a lot of quality baseball versus some of these.
God forbid, yes.
We get in these final.
Yeah,
weeks.
the final weeks it look like Little League. So yeah, no question about it. Well, okay, gang, we will catch you tomorrow, same time, about 2:00 in the afternoon. Hope you have a great day, and check out all of the links in the bottom. Okay, you'll be happy you did. Take care.